Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, we're going to be doing the Forex market outlook. We're going to be highlighting the key levels in the major currency pairs and a couple of other pairs as well. So let's just dive straight in. Got the pound US dollar in front of us here, and you can see that last week price rose to the upside quite nicely here on this daily time frame. If we look at that weekly as well, we can see nice bullish candlestick there, suggesting that this week we could see a continued move to the upside. Now, if we're just looking at the weekly alone and we're focusing on that dollar moving lower, then I'd expect to see price retest those previous structure lows around about 127. Okay, so if I just turn that into a resistance level, we can see here that I'd like the market to come and retest that previous structure low. So if we go into a daily time frame, we can refine that a little bit further by just pushing it down into this sort of spike low in here. This is the first sort of area I'd expect to be tested if the price was to continue to the upside. Obviously, there's a little bit of resistance in the way. We have this high in here. The market has stopped at this high. Obviously, this was Easter trading hours, so we can't anticipate that Friday was going to give us too much action, and we only had this move in here. Again, tomorrow, Monday, is also going to be the same. So Tuesday is really going to be where the action's occurring for us. So if we take a look at these swing lows in here, this is the resistance level, or support level, I should say, sorry. And what we can anticipate is if the market was to find resistance up here, expect to pull back into this low where it could find support, and then the market could then again trend back to the upside. If we get a break and close above this high, so if there was a nice close above that high, I would anticipate the market would push into these structure lows here, that 127. So then we can look at the trend to continue, and we'll be looking to buy on those smaller time frame pullbacks into that level. Okay, once it hit that level, then we don't know whether the market's going to trend back lower or break to the upside, so we'd have to wait, as this is the key level for price. Moving on to Euro US dollar, we can see here that the market had a little bit of a mixed week. We were looking for long opportunities on Euro US dollar. However, price is only just, the momentum's not really there too much. Looking at the weekly, again, it's just chopping around. Usually after a bearish couple of weeks, we get a bullish one, bearish one, bullish. So it's very difficult to dictate the direction. So what's really important is highlighting that level. So previous structure highs up here around about 111.30. That's an area where the market has found some resistance more recently. Support level I'm going to place as these swing lows in here around about that 107.80, or if we just push it a little bit up, around about the 107.90 lows just through there. Again, we can change the color of that to make it a support level. So these two areas are going to be critical. Now what I'm watching is those daily closes, and if the daily continues to be bullish, I'd expect the market to continue to the upside. We do have a nice 4-hour trend in here at the moment, so the market is making those significant higher highs and higher lows. At the moment, price is just kind of fumbling around here, still working within that high. So if we get a breakout to the upside, I'd expect trend to continue. If we start breaking lower, we could see price come and retest these swing lows through here on Euro US dollar. Aussie's bullish, very bullish. In fact, one of the strongest currencies last week. So I'm expecting that bullish momentum to continue to the upside. We'll have to wait and see if we do get any kind of significant pullbacks, because the 4-hour highs now sit all the way over here. So what I would like to see is if we would get a pullback into this level, will the buying momentum continue at that point? So we'll have to wait and see, because that's quite a deep retracement. So if we do get a move back into here, I'd expect a move higher, but whether it will just retest the highs and then continue lower, we'd have to wait and see. But Aussie's looking good for some buying opportunities. Daily's pushing higher. Coming up into that swing low through there would be interesting. So that's around about 0.6470, that low through there. I expect to be tested on the way up, okay? But again, look at that daily time frame. If that daily starts becoming bearish, we can anticipate a pullback like we saw here. If it starts to become, if it continues to be bullish, expect that resistance level to be tested. Similar with Kiwi, although Kiwi is rejecting the high at the moment, it closed back within. I know that's Easter trading, but the market has closed back within that swing high there. So what that suggests to me is that we're either going to see a pullback down into these lows, or if we do then close back above, I'd expect another move higher. And these swing lows here, pretty important, around about 6185 on Kiwi. So keep those levels marked up. Kiwi was strong last week, so we could still see that momentum continue. 4-hour trend very much still to the upside. Just be aware that price has started to find a bit of resistance in here. So if you was to look for any sort of longs from this previous 4-hour high, only look for targets back at the swing high for now. And then if we do get the break, you can look for the continuation, very much like we saw here and here, okay? Break to the upside, pull back, continue, So keep looking at those. Dollar Swiss, Swissy is not really on the cards to buy or sell. It's just kind of hovering around on the strength and weakness table. But dollar sales is definitely something that's interesting on this market. You can see again 4-hour time frame trending to the downside. Is that going to continue this week? That's what we need to ask ourselves the question. We start forming lower lows, lower highs. I expect to pull back into the previous structure lows. Is it going to find resistance here, and are we going to continue to see dollar move lower with the key support sitting around about 0.9510? Okay. So again, just mark up these key sort of areas and say to yourself, if the market pulls back in, I want to be following that 4-hour trend to the downside as long as those dailies continue to form bearish candles. Euro yen's potential for upside. Euro gained a little bit of value. Yen was one of the biggest losers last week, so yen could be considered for shorting opportunities. So you would be buying Euro yen, for instance, and the market has double bottomed here on a daily, with the next sort of the neckline of that being up around about 121, which is quite a distance away. So we could anticipate, if that euro does start picking up a little bit, we could see a rally up into this height here. What I am anticipating though is that maybe with the current price action that we're seeing here, lots of wicks to the upside just through here. So are we going to see a little bit of a pullback first, maybe a double bottom before then pushing higher? That's what I'm kind of anticipating there. Again, this is all going to determine on that 4-hour trend. 4-hour trend at the moment was forming higher highs and higher lows, and now we're just consolidating. So are we going to break to the upside? If we do, look to trend higher. If we break down, expect the market to retest those swing lows, and then ask yourself the question, is it going to reverse from that level with another head and shoulders pattern, or is it going to break down and continue to move lower? I'm expecting a reversal here, so I'm looking for some upside. Aussie yen, very similar, although we do have that confirmed higher high on the daily chart, with key resistance coming up around about 6940. This is where the market's obviously gapped, and there's a close of the gap sort of around this area. 6960 would be the close of this gap in particular. So are we going to see the market retest that structure potentially? Okay, what I would like to see is if we didn't test that and the market started then pulling back, I'd be looking to go long on Aussie yen at this area, as we're starting to get those really nice higher highs. So keep this previous structure high on the daily time frame in mind. But again, 4-hour time frames trending nicely to the upside. If we do get a pullback here, you could consider a long position with your targets being that key level that sits just above. So Aussie's looking pretty good for the buys, and pound hasn't really gained much strength last week according to the strength and weakness table. Very nice bearish candle. So watching this for any kind of continuations, or if we do get a nice daily lower high, there could be some more downside to come from this pair. Previous 4-hour lows all the way at 1.9840. So again, if the market pulls back into that, is there an opportunity to get short? Just looking at the weekly time frame, you're sort of breaking through a weekly support now, just through here, where the market found some resistance in the past. The next sort of level that we've got is down here, I'd say, as the market rejected there, found a bit of support here as well, around about 1.9400. That'll be a good area to look for the market to test. If it gets below that, then we're looking for those previous structure points. We're looking at decent areas such as this one through here, or even these lows. So there's a bit of a zone through there that the market could come and test, and that's around about 1.8900. Okay, so keep these levels marked up. I'm expecting a bit more Aussie strength. We might get a little bit of a relief to that rally this week, but towards the end of the week it may start to pick up once again. We'll keep you obviously informed on the YouTube channel, and I will speak to you in the week. I hope you had a great weekend, and I'll catch you very soon. Cheers.